Yo, what's up, YouTube? Ball Python Love here, BPL, doing another live stream, of course, on the BPL Show 2.0. And tonight we got a special guest, Mr. Rich McColl. And if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody, Rich McColl, Serpents. How's it going?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Everyone, thank you for joining. Gray's Reptiles is here. Gary's here. Appreciate everybody. If you guys haven't already, smack that like button, share the shit out. I truly appreciate it. And yes, you should be 18 watching this show. It is marked not for kids, just saying. What's up, Gray? Oh, yeah. So, you're a teacher,
Yep.
You do expos, breeding, of course, because of expos, and your design. So we're going to touch all those subjects tonight and go from there.
All right.
So let's start with this first question. When you do expos, who would you like to sell more than? Who is your your competition? There is one booth that you have to choose. Who is somebody that you would like to sell more than at an expo?
Oh, well. You know what? So this is not me being this is a guy who is an incredible expo salesperson, right? This is one of the best people I've ever seen at an expo selling the crap out of everything. And that's Jimmy Cruz from Ball Life, who he doesn't have anywhere near the presence on social media as a Justin Gabelka or an Ozzy or whatever. But when you get to an expo in California, Jimmy Cruz is there, and Jimmy Cruz sells the crap out of everything. He's awesome. I would love to sell the amount he sells. Right
on. Okay. So can we touch a little bit about you being a teacher? I mean, I pretty much know. If you would like to get into that a little bit, just, let everybody know what kind of, because I think it's fucking, sorry, language, once again, 18 plus. I think it's awesome, man.
Teaching's been, there's a lot of things I could have done with my life, because I'm 52 now, right? There's a lot of things I could have done between, 20 and 52, and I chose teaching because you aren't getting rich doing teaching. You're doing teaching because there's moments in teaching when, it's just incredible, when you watch a kid do something for the first time that you've been working. And I work special ed, right? So some of the stuff I'm doing, I'm 2-3 years worth of effort into getting a kid to walk, for example. I've had a kid stand up after 2 years out of the blue and walk halfway across the room, and he had never done that before. And it might be 2 months later before he does it again, but that moment right there, that's the moment. That's what I teach for. Those breakthroughs.
Yes. I was going to let you continue.
I think teaching gets a bad rap in a big way, especially right now, on a whole lot of levels. And, I'd have to think twice to start the career over again. If I was 20 and I could talk to myself at 20, I might make myself go back to school and be a PT, a physical therapist, because, they get more respect, but they had the same kind of teaching moments, I think. And the stuff that I like to do, that is, I'm very much a hands-on, physical guy when it comes to the teaching stuff. It's just there's just so much fantastic stuff about teaching, and then you have the bureaucracy, especially California, and you get tired of the bureaucracy, and you get tired of that kind of stuff like that. But the kids make it worthwhile. They really do in the end.
That's kick ass. And you still have the snake in the classroom?
COVID made my snake leave the classroom. We have banned all animals that are not fish in classrooms in our. It makes no sense. It had nothing to do with COVID. Somebody passed that rule because it sounded good, and we can't get diseases from animals. And I find it a little ridiculous, but a lot of the COVID stuff has been ridiculous. So now it lives in my shed now with the rest of the snakes. And so
okay.
I just saw that little clip up there where teachers don't get paid enough, right? So here's my little story about how I started this whole deal and the teaching part of it, right? I used to have to work summers in order to make ends meet in California where I'm living. I'm in the Bay Area, right? Expensive cost of living. So I used to have to work summers. It wasn't a question of getting summers off. I had to find that work in summer from schooling. And then I figured out how much money I was making. And then I sold the clutch of snakes for that much money. And I thought to myself, oh my God, And that actually was the moment where I said, all right, I want to work, the regular school year. I want summer off. All this teacher fantasy having summer off. I wanted that. 20 years of teaching, I hadn't had that. I never had summer off. So I started this business to earn myself enough money to have summer off. That was, yeah, right?
That's pretty kick-ass, man. That's really kick-ass. So how did you come up with the epic design? Now I understand that your favorite, your favorite dinosaurs, Triceratops, Triceratops,
right.
I mean, of course. But how'd you come up with that epic t-shirt logo? Like, what was the mindset in that moment? Did you personally make that? Was that like somebody?
Nope. It was someone off Fiverr. So what I did was, all right, so I knew what I wanted. So I went on Fiverr and I did a deep dive looking for, how you can sort through Fiverr. It was everybody who was like a 4 or 5 star. And then I just looked for someone whose art I liked. And I found this guy, and we just started having a back and forth. And he came up with a couple of designs, and that Triceratops is what won. And then he was a graphic designer, but he wasn't a programmer. So then I found someone else to make my my YouTube thing where it actually it marches out and stuff. And I was like, all I told them was, all right, here's my Triceratops. I want it to stop its feet, and I want it to roar and breathe fire. So that was it. And they came up with the rest of it. So some brilliant people on Fiverr out there,
Right on.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's get a little bit into the ball pythons. That's mostly why we're here, and
right.
In general. Now I wrote this one down, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. Now, what is one gene or morph that you would like to have in every single one of your ball pythons?
Oh, pythons.
I kind of figured that because looking through everything and now choosing pied. Now, is there one single gene that because you chose one? Now, what is one that if I named, or if you could think of that you couldn't have in yours that would hurt? Because I know you. I know that we're gonna get into the xanthic and all that. So please.
Right. So a gene that I wouldn't have with pied?
Correct.
Is that what you mean? Correct. So the genes that go too white, and I'm right now I'm playing around with a lot of special stuff because I really love the special heads. But what bugs me the most about special and pied is you're not getting enough color. So the couple of specials I've made that have been they got a couple of saddles. I'm holding on to those with tight fists because that's the ones I want to get it going in my collection to try to bring out more pattern and stuff. It sort of defeats the purpose to get a white snake.
You have the two, the picture with the two, and the one had the stamp on the head, and the one had like a pure white head, and the stamp was like right below the neck, dude. That picture is gorgeous. I was wow,
yeah.
That was
nothing
awesome.
is whiter than pied white, and when you get a solid white, it's just it's a gorgeous white snake. But how many white snakes can you have? I like the collection with them. Low, mediums, highs. I like them all, right? So
correct.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge college football fan. Okay, I don't know if you are. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's better than nothing. Now,
I'm a hockey guy.
I love hockey. Right. I'm a San Jose Sharks fan.
All right, there we go. Detroit Red Wings, even though I live in the Bay Area.
That's a punch in the face, but it's all good.
Yeah.
So in college football, there could only be one Heisman winner.
Okay.
Now, so if you could choose a breeder of this year of 2021,
hold on. I just lost my sound, so I can't hear you now. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there we go. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
All right, we're good to go. My earbud just died. Okay, so go on. Heisman Trophy winner.
Now, in 2021, breeder-wise, who do you think took away that trophy?
Oh, in 2021.
In my personal opinion, I'm just going to say it so it's A.P. McColl. I think Always Evolving Python, the shit he's doing is just unbelievable. Of course, Justin Belka, but who would you pick as your Heisman winner for the 2021 breeding season?
Wow, there's some really incredibly awesome folks out there, and it's easy to say Miguel, it's easy to say Ozzy, it's easy to say Justin, and all three of them are very deserving on the stuff that that they bring out. And oh man, there's so many good people out there. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna blank on his name. I'm totally. I can picture his face and everything. Well, give me a second to think of the guy I'm thinking of. Fire. Oh my God, the guy from Florida. Fire. Oh, Fireball. Someone say it. I'll think of it in like 5 minutes probably, but it's something with fire in the name from Florida and
from Florida.
Right. Anyways, but he's been killing it in Desert Ghost and Clown put together. Desert Ghost Clowns. He absolutely made some amazing stuff. Straight Fire Reptiles. So I've never met the guy at Straight Fire Reptiles, and I'm trying to remember his name too. I saw a photo. Actually, Billy put up a photo of a Straight Fire snake that was a Desert Ghost Clown Stranger plus, and that snake absolutely blew me away. So I guess as I bounce around here, those are the two people I put up for it. And I'd actually go with that Stranger Desert Ghost Clown as Jeremy from Fireball. Yep. Jeremy from Fireball was just been killing it for the last 2-3 years on Desert Ghost Clown stuff, and just to some incredible stuff. I mean, he's a whole step above everybody else bringing that stuff out there. So we'll give him the Heisman with a runner-up on Straight Fire with that Stranger mix he made, because that was an incredible snake.
Yeah. So of all the clutches you had, what was your most anticipated clutch that you had?
For this year,
of all time, the
most anticipated. The second time that I made the xanthic pies. The first time it wasn't anticipated because I didn't know it was going to happen.
Correct.
Right. The second time when I repeated it and got another one, that was probably my most ever of anticipated clutches. Yeah, because that was just incredible. The moments we breed for are the moments when stuff like that happens, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably it right there. And in fact, for that matter, this year, that mama, she did it again for me. And again, that was probably one of my most anticipated for this year. 2021 as we close out right now. So, yeah.
I got to say, to me, that hands down, that I'm just going to get right into that. Let's talk about the mystery and xanthic. Now you tried the TSK.
I tried the TSK. It is not bad.
Have you tried? Not VPI. Have you tried that?
I just did a VPI, and the clutch basically went to all the hell. So it was a VPI het pied to a double het pied xanthic. So it would only have given me a correct answer if it gave me one, right? Because odds gods being what they are, if I didn't get any, it still could just be a question. And that snakes, they were all weak veined, and in the end, it hasn't hatched yet. I've got one. So cross your fingers. We got one shot that even if they were 100% hats and we knew it, that's still going to be a long odds of that egg right there. But so I'm actually it's actually at the forefront right now. So I just picked up directly from Marcus Jane. I picked up an MJ. Justin thinks that, so this line goes back to Odie het pies that I bought from Justin years ago now.
Okay.
And in his, what he said was he thinks that it's likely that his mystery xanthic, which he made a couple of, it's going to be the same as mine, but it's going to be the same as Marcus's, is what he thinks. Now, we haven't proven that yet, so no one take that to the bank yet, because we haven't actually proven that yet. So I bought myself a banger Fire Orange Dream xanthic pied from Marcus Jane. But I got to get him up to size, and we'll see what happens with him. And I'm going to go I was going to buy a VPI also, and then I got sidetracked and I bought another snake that I haven't actually got yet. But anyways, I didn't buy the VPI pied I was going to, so I need to go around and buy one of those. So get that going too. And I now have, the problem is they've all been females. I got a whole just ton of females right now. So, and they're all coming online. So I have the room to get a VPI, and just give him a female that's his and see what happens and stuff. So, yeah.
That is awesome. Are you gonna? Or do you plan or already started breeding your treeboa, the Amazon treeboa you have?
No, I don't think. I'm not sure exactly what age they have to get to, but the ones I've got are only a little bit over a year old. And their siblings too. Yeah, I will breed it. At some point, I'm going to breed them more to notch the belt than I did it, probably, as opposed to getting into, a whole lot of Amazon treeboa breeding. I don't have the space to do a whole other species in any kind of way that will do it justice.
Well, you did your retic.
Yeah, I did the retic, and man, I don't know if that one's going to work this year. So, and I know like nothing about breeding retics, right? So I'm just following I have a friend, John Cashman from Cashman Reptiles, if you know him. So John, I use all his advice to this. So last year, fed the female till she stopped eating, and that was the first time in her entire life she stopped eating. So that was really significant. Got the male in there, bred her, she laid her eggs. It was good. Did it again this year, exactly the same, but here's the difference. Right now, she's back on food, and she didn't do that last year till she laid eggs. So I'm wondering if I missed. If she's going to eat, I'm going to feed her. So I'm going to assume that she missed it and try again next year. But oh well, that's my only shot at Super Dwarf. So I only have the one female and the one male at the moment. I kept some of the babies back last year. I got 4 I'm bringing up now, but they're nowhere close to breeding time. Yeah. So.
Okay. So I do have an update on. I would like an update actually from you. So you posted these on your IG. I could not find an update. I tried going through your YouTube, could not find an update. Whatever happened to the African fat-tailed gecko eggs? Did they hatch?
Oh, they just never. I still got them, and so either they were either I just screwed them up, and they just didn't hatch, or they just nothing up. They eggs in the end. I hooked them up just like I saw everybody else doing online, and in my incubator, same incubator as the ball pythons. It probably was a little bit warmer than I think they're like you can change the sex by how warm they are. Basically, I don't know that much about the gecko eggs, but we would have been on the warm end, but still in the legal area, and they just never hatched. So either they were duds in the first place, or I just don't know what I'm doing. It's possible. I don't even know how to sex these guys. I have, I bought a group, one of which was supposed to be a male, and the others are supposed to be females. And I looked at all the videos online how to sex them, but I'm 52 now, right? I no longer could see right here. Get a put the fingers on and stuff. I don't know. I just can't tell the difference between the two. So they're still in there. I still got a little cockroach farm going. And they haven't laid any eggs in a long time though now.
So, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Your biggest clutch you ever had was 16 eggs, correct? With the ball pythons.
Right. Correct. Yep.
Can you tell me the feeling that that's a lot of eggs, man. From a
that's a lot of eggs,
so.
Right? Yeah, and I've got 2 snakes with that potential. Wow, one just laid me. What'd she leave me? 15 or 16. I'm forgetting now. Just in the last year, I got 15 or 16. I want to say it was 15 off a het pied. The other one's the het lab, and she's the one who gave me the 16. And yeah, it's just incredible. You see people posting their 4-egg clutches and the 6-egg clutches, and you're like, 17, 16. I want 15. But they're older, mature girls. That's the thing. That's why they're given the big clutches. Is they're probably a decade old each. Those 2 snakes.
Wow. That's fantastic, man. Like 16 in a clutch, like that's a hit right there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
What is your favorite spot to go to venue?
For a venue? Oh, I really like Pomona. Pomona's in non-COVID times, I should say. Pomona ends up being it's a great building. Rami, the guy who puts it on, he's great. He's a great promoter. It's got a nice hotel next to it. It's got good parking. It's easy for people coming to the show to get into that show and out of that show. Like, there are other shows that just don't do that. They don't have the, actually Anaheim's a good example. It's Disney, so you're expensive parking, and it's hard to move around and stuff. Pomona's just a little bit better for that. And for me, it's 6 hours away. It's kind of a drive, but that's a great venue. My favorite venue here is a toss-up between San Jose and Pleasanton, because there are equidistance between them. But San Jose was my first show ever. And the fairgrounds are kind of horrible. The city of San Jose has not put any money into that place
in 50 years. But in the heart there, that's my show right there, huh?
Okay. So bringing it up, so first reptile show that you venued, and you took a table, a red tablecloth. You had your name on a piece of paper that you printed out, and you sold one snake for $45.
Exactly. I laugh.
No, that's hey. There's nothing wrong with that. But who was the lucky one person that walked away with that one ball or one snake? I don't even know if it was a ball python because you just said snake. It could have been a corn or.
Right. No, it was. I don't remember their names anymore. But they actually came back for the next 2-3 years. That it was a couple. It was a 20-something couple, and they came back every year to talk to me. And they never bought anything else, but they loved that snake, and they still had it as at that point. But I haven't seen them for a couple of years now. But that's the cool thing about Expos, right? End up being friends with these people that you see them nowhere else but there. But that's cool.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that though. That's always awesome. So you went to the Charles Darwin Research Center. How kick-ass was that, dude?
Oh my God, the Galapagos in general, trip of a lifetime, absolutely incredible. The Darwin Center itself is, Galapagos tortoises everywhere, and then they have like every different kind. Here we basically have sort of like a mutt version of those tortoises. I hear rumors that they have a saddleback one where the shell of the turtle, instead of being that round dome, it looks more like a saddle. And I hear rumors that there's a secret colony of those in Florida, but I've never seen any evidence of that. But they had like multiple, different subspecies of that one there and stuff, and it was just cool. They had some really old ones, and what was Gray saying? Yep, I am. I'll be a Pomona, Gray. Yeah, Gray's awesome too. I like Gray.
I actually have 3 snakes from him.
All right, yeah. I like how family-oriented Gray is. That's what's cool about him. It's his whole family going in the whole thing, so that's cool.
For sure.
That
is awesome.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to Galapagos, go do it. It's absolutely worth it.
So, just ran, because this isn't written down, but did you get what you wanted for Christmas? just curious, was there a special gift that you left for yourself?
So I asked my mom for a little thing that she didn't get me, and then I asked my wife for a jacket, and she didn't give me that jacket. And then my wife made up for it. My wife gave me 100 grams of that coffee that gets pooped out of the civet cat. Yeah, so that's so I got cat coffee poop coffee beans to make for Christmas. So that's kind of awesome. So
okay. Hey, I mean, yeah, right on.
I know, isn't that cool? No, I'm way into coffee, and I roast my own. I do all this weird stuff with coffee, but it's super. It's very expensive for coffee that got pooped out of a cat. So I've never bought it for myself, and that's what makes a good gift, right? It's something I would never actually do it myself, but she did it for me. So I'll have to do a video on coffee poop. Coffee.
Talking about videos, I mean, when are we gonna see more videos?
I know, right? Well, so this is what actually happened with that is, with COVID and stuff, I was off. We were teaching remotely, which is its own story in itself. But I had a lot of extra time on my hand for a year and a half, so I expanded the snakes and stuff because I'm Mr. Hyperactive. So I expanded to a point where when we went back to school. Now I'm doing nothing but snakes. I get up at 4 a.m. I do snakes before school because I find I do better that way. And then I go to school and do that and stuff. And the one, as doing videos, it's work. You actually have to put some time into these videos or else they look totally horrible. I mean, mine aren't that great in the first place. But if you put no time into it, you can really tell.
Same with the live streams. I mean,
exactly.
If I would just invite you up here and be like, yeah, let's just hang out, like you'd be like, who the hell are you?
right. We'd be all babbling at each other and stuff. But so basically, the one area I could cut easy was doing videos. So that's actually why there hasn't been any videos lately. It's just too much time, and so that'll probably equal itself out again as the school year works onward. And stuff.
I mean, I can understand, the one thing I don't know. I breed my own rats. I know you don't. Like, I couldn't get them from somebody else, man. It's not that I'm not saying your guy's a bad guy. Like, I get that you got your connection, but like, just curious, why don't you breed them?
I would, yeah. So you know how much time it takes to do your rats, right? So I would have to cut the snakes in half to have enough rats to do the other half of the snakes. And I keep it clean, keep it from being stinky and all that kind of stuff. But they just demand a lot of work,
Yeah.
That's the basic reason. And then the other part of it is, Dean Holm. I don't know if you know Dean or not, but he's just a great guy and he does a really good job. I've been to his rat facility. I've seen where it is, and it's clean. He's, it's just really nice in the first place. So because I'm able to get a quality, product from him, and he's just a great guy. And huge kudos to him because he makes what I do much easier. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I moved or something, if I didn't have Dean, I couldn't find that connection, I would have to do my own rats, and then I would have to make some decisions about quantity of snakes.
Okay. So, what I want to touch a little bit more on your xanthic pied, if I said that right, because I always mess that xanthic up. So you have some that say orange dream, and they are, but then you have some that say super orange dream, and it's so hard to tell being a black and white to gray. So like, I understand, like, I've read a lot of what you're saying, looking for certain things.
Right.
But like, how crazy is that to know that like you got a super form of the orange dream inside of it, of a recessive, and it's so hard to even see the orange at all. Like, you can't. Right. It's gone.
And I get you. And so what I've only actually ever sold one. I've kept them all the rest. But what I've always said about this, in the end, it's a black and white snake, and you have to do your own due diligence, and you have to, make that decision yourself. Is that or is that not? And then, and actually, probably, I don't even know when I did it. I did, Brian Cusco did a video with me at Anaheim or Pomona, one of the two, about 2 years ago, where there were two of them together. And so when you had a super orange dream that was 100% super orange dream pied next to it, you could really see the pattern difference between what a regular orange dream would have been, or even a regular pied would have been. It really stood out, that super orange dream. So, in faith, a little bit of faith there, a little due diligence. I have one right now. I put a photo up today. I don't know if you saw it or not. That I think is OD, not super OD. Yeah. And it's the darkest one I've made. And honestly, in as far as the quality goes, to me, it's not nearly as silver and sparkly as the rest of them go. But when you look at the last two saddles on that, those are they just scream orange dream,
Okay.
But if I was to actually sell that, I would say, I'd look you in the eye and I'd say, hey, look at that snake. Look at some orange dream pieds. Look at that snake. You decide, is that what you think it is? And this is the price I want. If it's worth it to you and you think that's what it is, pull that trigger, but I will not question you. It's got to be your decision,
So how many clutches are you aiming for in 2022?
I'm just now hitting 42 for 2021, and I would like to do that, but it's more spread out. I ended up with a huge wall of babies at the end there because, snakes do what snakes want to do. Because I had clutches that are hatching right now that some of them I bred last year, January, some of them I bred last year, May, some of them I bred last year, August. And then they all ended up in November, December, So in other words, 42 is a great amount for me. I would just want it a little bit more spread out across the year. So that's what I'm trying to do with the ultrasound and stuff, and see how that goes for me. But,
yeah. So last time you lied to your wife?
The last time I lied to my wife? About something real?
So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you lost a snake.
Oh, right.
You know the story. So Was that the last time you lied to your wife?
Yeah, about snakes and rats, definitely it was. Because I've lost a rat or two in the house too.
Okay.
But I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. It's just, it's like I say, bad news doesn't age well. Well, neither does not telling your wife the snake is loose in the house. That does not age well either. So yeah, I just say, by the way, I've got, a snake out, or I got a rat out. But they're not here in the house anymore. So that just makes her happy. If they do get out, it's not going to bother her,
So to be honest with you, I don't have a huge collection like yourself, but I've had 2 in my collection escape. And one was on me. The other one, I have no idea how it happened. But the first one, it was my yellow belly. And my wife saw her coming, because she's a little over a hatchling now, like almost sub-adult. But before the beginning of the year, like she looked small, and she came out underneath the door. My wife was like, "Oh shit, she's out." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't know that either." And then for me, I guess I didn't close the tub all the way.
Right.
And I went to go look at my clown Mel, and I opened it, and he was gone. I freaked out. I didn't even bother checking the snake room at the time. I actually thrashed every other room in the house, and go back to the snake room. He's right there in the back, just chilling. Nope. I'm like, oh, dude, I got a big mess to clean.
Yep. They don't really go that far fast, I don't think. My snake building is not escapable to the outside. So and I have a vision rack that is notorious for snakes escaping from it. I have the little clips on it now, but they didn't used to sell those clips, so I had a bunch of rigged up stuff. And I get snakes that would escape from it. But what I found was it wasn't even worth looking for them. You just, all right, they're out, and then you just go start opening the racks and the freedom breeders, and the one that sticks, it's there. There's the escapees under it on the heat,
So you use the freedom breeder. I have sea serpents. So
right.
I don't, it kind of be yeah. So, do you still, I think do you still have your Burmese Star?
Oh, yeah. Cobra Commander, yeah.
Yeah, how big is that going to get?
I think it's a male, so I think they're a little smaller, but like football helmet size, maybe. Oh,
yeah?
Yeah, so about that big.
What is he like,
So,
10,
yeah, right now he's about, yay big. He's about 4, going on 4, I think.
Has he ever escaped?
No, I've been really careful with him. Yeah. Because, well, first of all, I got dogs, and I think that they would be a little interested in him. Yeah, no, he's never escaped. I have his outdoor enclosure is actually a fully enclosed dog kennel with a bottom and a top, and which I actually did to keep them out, but it also means he can never get out either. So yeah.
Okay. That's really awesome, man. That really is. I like that.
Oh, they're fun, yeah.
What is something when you're at an expo, besides making money, what is something that you look forward to doing that makes you happy of doing it?
Oh, at expo, it's friends. It's friends everywhere. You see people you haven't seen. I at a couple of shows. There's a couple of shows where I share a booth with friends that I only ever see at those shows, and then I have a couple other friends I see at other shows, and and then people you sold a snake to 4 years ago will show up, and you totally recognize them. You don't know who they are and stuff. You're like, oh, how's that snake going? And they're all into it too, and that's really what shows are for me is those connections and that networking, and all these people, I've made some really incredible friends. Like Dean Holmes, a great example. It's like we've known each other for 30 years. We totally know each other from shows and stuff, and that's what's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a hobby that has your back. That's how I think about it. Everybody, you tend to, for the most part, there's some people who don't like each other, but most of us like each other. Most of us get along, and Exo's big enough that if there's some person you don't like there, you just stay away,
Simple.
So, yeah.
Very simple. So, I asked you your favorite venue. What is your least favorite that you've done?
Oh, all right. So least favorite. I'm not even gonna say who it is, where it is, because so here's they all know where the show's at. So if I because the different people who do the shows, I like all of them. And there's just some places that you get out too far from anywhere, and the show just isn't any good for sales and stuff. And it actually costs me money to go to the show, and if there's a combination of it's going to cost me money to be at a show, but I have to drive 4 hours to get to it, that's a show I don't want to do. I don't have to make any money and be happy at a show. I can totally go to a show and make no money. I've done that more than once. I go to a local show, whether it's
nothing wrong with that. Hey, nothing wrong with
that. What sells at shows is stuff that's really pretty and stuff that's cheap. And if it's really pretty and cheap, that's what really sells. Like corn snakes do well at shows. I tend to have stuff that's really pretty, that's really expensive for a show. It doesn't always sell real well at some of the small shows. But my friends are at the small shows, so it's it's totally worth going to the small shows for that part of it and stuff.
So I already know this answer, but I'd like to hear it just because to see if I'm right. Who is your mentor? And I'm going to say it before you say it, though, if that's okay.
I've been pretty blatant about who that is. So yeah,
it's legendary Brian Gundy.
Yeah, correct? Exactly. Nicest man in the world.
Correct, 100%. Yep. So here's the next question. Coming up in 2022, BPL is going from Reno, Nevada, because I'm not far from you. I'm going herping with Brian, and Cusco might show up. He said, would you like to show up? And if so, I'm going to interview everybody that shows up. So it's going to be an in-person interview.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing: is Brian has been inviting me to go herping for a long time now. We just haven't connected to do it. So I would absolutely totally be up for a Brian Gundy herping thing. Yeah, and you know what? You can tell the one snake that I have never seen in the Bay Area that I absolutely want to see is a San Francisco garter snake in the wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely a snake that I would love to see in the wild. But and I know he knows places.
He knows. He knows. He's like, yeah. What do you want to find? Oh, it's right over there. Here, I'll take you. Right? You're like, what? You're like, he knows it instantly. So I can't wait. That's going to be an experience I cannot wait for.
Right.
When I do, I plan on staying probably like 2-3 nights down there, and then trying to herp all 2-3 days. Well, really nighttime, I would say, or daytime.
Right.
So.
Right.
But that would be an awesome get you in person, get you Cusco, and Gundy there, and Matt might join. He said that's the Whiskey Wimps. If you follow that from Brian Cusco's whiskey channel.
I didn't know that one, but yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, totally up for that one. Just keep me in mind when that happens, and we'll go from there.
For sure.
I didn't actually know he had a whiskey channel.
It's called the Whiskey Wimps, and I actually had Brian Cusco on. He was interviewed before you.
Oh, right on. I'm sorry. I missed that one too. I'll have to go actually watch that one.
And I actually had the legendary Brian Gundy like 3 shows before that. So that's where I was like, dude, can you take me herping? I was so stoked.
Right. Absolutely.
It's even. One more question personally from me, and this has nothing to do with like this whole interview right now, but when I come down there and all that, and if you do have the time to show up, is there any possible way while I'm doing the interview that we could see the xanthic pied in front of us, Orange Dream, and I want a picture with it? That'd be dope.
That's definitely a possibility, depending on where it is. The Super Orange Dream one, I'm breeding her right now, so if she was in full gravid mode, we probably wouldn't do anything with her. But her sister is she laid me eggs and she's recovering now. So at least her sister we could probably do something with. So
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
She hasn't committed to eggs yet, but I got my fingers crossed.
So what is one thing that you wish you could change in the industry of ball python? Something that you're like, yeah, I wish that was never evolved into it.
Oh, that's the scam level stuff. I wish we could get rid of it. If we could flush the whole scam level, which is reptiles in general, I think, if we could just get rid of that. You know, that's a cancer on the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
That's really screwed up. I cannot remember his name, and I'm so sorry. He follows me. He follows you. He has a lot of followers as well. I can't remember his name, but maybe bringing up the story, you'll think of who it is. But he recently, I guess, sold like 3 snakes, something like that, within the last month. The dude used like a stolen credit card, so he lost out on the money and the snakes. And
Right.
I was like, that is super like fucked. Like, once again, 18 plus, you should be watching. But that is super fucked up.
Right. No, absolutely it is, right? You know, it's just scuzzy and scummy, and you know, and I feel bad sometimes. You watch people, you know, I'm part of you like, well, you're dumb enough to do it, but you see someone go on Facebook and they're like, I bought it from this Facebook website that obviously was created like, you know, 3 weeks ago, and they've got like 4 pictures, but I bought something from them anyways. I watched somebody, actually was after the fat tail gecko like 3 weeks ago. They were screaming online that they had just gone through this, and you sort of, part of you thinks, why did you buy a gecko from somebody whose Facebook account was 3 weeks old and
Yep.
had 4 photos, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I'm so sad that you had to go through that, you know? Now you're going to be so much more leery of buying, and, you know, and your experience has been ruined, and what should have been a cool, great first gecko, you know, now is a horrible, oh my God, experience, right? So, yeah, I don't know.
That's damn. So I'm not going to keep you too much longer. We've been going 42 minutes. I told you 45 minutes to an hour. So, you know, here's the ultimate question for you. Somebody that is watching this right now, somebody that has been following Rich McColl, and has been, you know, never had a reptile, never had anything, no lizard, no snake, no kind of reptile, and they really wanted to get into reptiles. What is something positive you could leave behind for them to be like, you know what, Rich is right, and I want to take this step forward? So what is something positive you could tell somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps and be like, I want to be the next icon of ball pythons. I want the triceratops on my shit. Like, what is something positive you could tell somebody that's new into this?
Pull the trigger. Absolutely, pull the trigger and do it. Don't think about doing it. Don't overanalyze what you're doing. Just do it. You know, you can't accomplish something without actually doing that something. And, you know, don't outthink yourself. Don't let your friends tell you can't do it. You know, because there's a whole lot of people who still to this day go, I can't believe you sell snakes. And, you know, that people actually buy snakes. Well, we've been doing this. You know, I've only been doing it for a decade, but this has been around since, you know, the 80s. Easy. You know, when Bob Clark started really selling hardcore retics and berms and stuff, you know, you can do this, but you have to do it. It's work, and you know, no one's going to hand it to you. But at the same time, don't listen to the people who are going to, you know, tell you you can't do it. You know, that's you are your own worst enemy or friend when it comes.
Very true.
You know, so yeah, that's what I would say. You know?
Okay.
I'm
gonna go ahead.
I thought I was going to say, just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Nike. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Hopefully I don't get any copyrights on that. But you know, and I want to touch up on that because it's very true. Like, don't tell anybody who watched this for a couple minutes and belled or stayed in the whole time, regardless, and you heard what was just said. Don't let other people tell you can't do something. Like my intro says, when you fall, you get back up.
Right on.
You know, you don't stop, don't quit. You know, don't let other people tell you can't do this because of someone being like, well, I've been in it longer, so, and I know you can't. No, prove them wrong. Prove them that you've got the fight in you. Like, honestly, I don't think I would be getting guests like yourself and all that from somebody else, like, helping me. But I got AP on my own. I got Cusco on my own. Like, I got you on my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I really truly believed what, you know, of what other people thought about me, calling me, you know, because BPL has gotten drunk in the past and went live, and you know, BPL has said some stupid shit on his live streams and was like either my way or no way. But at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Don't stop your dreams. Don't
Right,
stop.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Keep fighting forward, because at the end of the day, you either stop and you listen to everyone and it just shows you quit, or you prove everybody wrong and you fight it every fucking day.
Right, exactly.
So hopefully, once again, yes, BPL has said some stupid shit while drunk, because BPL has been live hundreds of times this year.
Right on. That's okay though. You know, as long as you're covering, keep going.
Well, I mean, like that's why it's 2.0 now, because I'm trying to improve the show and not have stupid moments.
we definitely all have stupid moments though, but you're right. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, I guess.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right on.
BPL is fun when he's drunk. Like, I don't know. That's when all the stupidness comes out, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, F that and F this, and yeah. Not tonight, not tomorrow. Rich, don't go anywhere though. I appreciate you. I want to talk to you behind the scenes. Everyone that's been watching the whole time, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And once again, I have going live like at least 150 times this year. I put out content. If you guys like it, please subscribe, like it, share the shit out. I'd appreciate it. Once again, 18+. Until next time, I'm out of here with Rich, and we'll see you Wednesday. Should I tell him Wednesday's guest or no? It's on you.
Oh, tell him. I want to know.
I'll see you guys Wednesday with Precious Pythons.
Oh, Precious.